Hi everybody, today is Tuesday and this is another competitive Modern League round 2 with Blue-Red through the breach. Before I get started, I just have one quick thing to say. Thank you for the support, the likes, the subscribes, the comments, all of that stuff. A few of you sent me a message over the last week and said that you really liked what I was doing and asked if there are any additional ways that you could show your support. And I didn't really have a good answer. I think I said like and subscribe, but I did think of something. I'm trying to always grow my YouTube channel, and one thing you can do is if you do really like my content and you like what I do and all that stuff, you can take a link to the video and then share it with your friends. You don't have to post it on your Facebook page if that's not your thing, but you could take the link and maybe send it to some of your Magic friends just to help maybe expose my channel to people who haven't seen it before. If the decks don't appeal to them, you can take like the F&M vlog or the one about the bag or something like that. So if you want to take your support a step further, that's one way you can do that. I have some ideas for some premium content, but that's further down the road, and I'm still trying to get all that figured out, and I'm not going to change anything that I'm doing. It's just I'm going to try to create some really deep content that's going to take a ton of my time for those people who are interested in that kind of thing and obviously want to support what I do. Okay, round 2, let's go. All right, here we go. By the way, games 2 and 3 are going to be live, but I made a mistake and I didn't record game 1, so I'm going to do a quick audio whatever. Not my favorite way to do it. All right, so I look at this hand and I'm like, it's kind of slow. We have some selection. It's very much on the borderline of a mulligan. Like, if we are against a slower deck, this hand is completely fine. If we're against a really aggressive deck, we're kind of in trouble. We might be able to dig ourselves out of it. Turns out it's Affinity, and I'm immediately sad for keeping it. But that doesn't mean it was wrong. Very easily could have been an okay decision. We draw through the breach, which isn't ideal. I debate for a bit on whether to keep this opt, and I've decided that I'm really looking for removal at this point. And so if I put the Scalding Tarn on the bottom, put the opt on top, if I just scry them both to the bottom, I'm guaranteed to draw the card that would be underneath opt. But if I opt, I get a chance to look at the card that would be underneath opt and put it to the bottom. So I get to go an extra card deeper by keeping opt. And I decided to do that since I have to find things like lightning bolts as quickly as possible. So we have a great answer, but we're a turn behind to this whole board state. And that, I think, really highlights just how this is why I do things against Affinity. Like, I will, especially if I'm on the draw, it very much depends on what their first creature is. But I will fetch shock just to bolt, because you really need keeping pace with them at times is more important than your life total. Because as you can see here, if we were, say, well, not really one turn ahead, but if we had Electrolyze up, this would be totally amazing. But because we're just that one turn behind, now this is a super big problem and we don't have a removal spell. So we play the island, go ahead and opt, Saber Man, we put Saber Man, put that on the bottom, draw Blood Moon. Things are getting already out of control. One Steel Overseer just can be super problematic. I decide to go ahead and kill the Steel Overseer because its guys are already getting so big, and I'm just taking so much additional damage from it that I don't think I can deal with another activation. Plus, there's a chance that it draws me into removal spell, which it doesn't. It draws me a land. So then I have another decision here. I'm basically at 7 Infect, and so I could tap draw, or I could just play a Blood Moon. If I play a Blood Moon, then I guarantee I don't die to Infect. The damage here isn't huge, but I give myself a little bit of time. And I have this through the breach, and so if his hand kind of ends up being slow still, I might be able to Ember Cool something in here and kill a bunch of stuff. But as it turns out, he drew a plating, which is bad, clearly. So we're taking about 1 million damage. Go all the way to 2. We go all the way to 2, but we have like this cryptic, tap your team plane. And what my hope is like, okay, well, I got this through the breach. So if I can like tap, draw, bolt a thing, like let's say I tap, draw, and bolt this, and then he has 1, 2, 6 permanents. Maybe I can like get myself out of this by killing a thing, untapping through the breach and Emrakul, and even though he's at 29, he has no permanents, and we can take over the game from a control deck standpoint. But of course, he's like incentivized to play as many things as he can because he's has a cranial plating. Debate for a while on what to do about this Edge Champion. Kind of just realized that there's really no outs for me in the game because he has so many permanents. I have to tap. I have to tap. I have to draw. I have to draw to find answers. I have to tap to survive, and my whole goal is to get to Emrakul. But now he can go like literally sack 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lands and any arbitrary creature and then just kill me. So I'm pretty much dead. But I'm going to fight the good fight for a little bit, kind of see what happens here. We drew the Emrakul, but this is not going to be enough. When is Emrakul not enough? Affinity can be good enough where Emrakul is not enough. Whatever. I'm going to just see here. Snap, Cryptic, play this game a little bit more. Even though I know there's really no point. Which, small thing here I'll mention from sideboarding. I decide that the Emrakul plan is just not as good as the Madcap plan. So I know in the deck tech for the first video I said, the Madcap experiment sideboard plan is good against Burn and Dredge, which is true, but I actually think it's really good against Affinity as well. So that is the game. Let me talk about sideboarding. Okay, here, I'll just do this in the collection screen so you guys can see it. So one of the nice things about getting the Through the Breach combo out is it's 8 cards, and where the Madcap Experiment combo is good, it's only 5 cards. So you get 3 immediate slots. The other thing that's just classically bad against Affinity is Remand. Like, they have spells that cost 0. I can't think of a single worse card. Sure, sometimes if you could just have it on the play, and they're trying to like cast a Vault Scourge, it's could be okay, but it's not probably how it's going to work out. So we take out the Remands, we go ahead and bring in the Ceremonious Rejections, the Abrade, the Anger of the Gods, the Izzet Staticaster, and the By Force. And that leaves us with a clean 60 cards. I don't want to run 3 Blood Moons. I think Blood Moon can be good in the matchup, primarily because it can sort of be a like a 3-for-1. I've had Affinity players bring in Blood Moon against me, and I'm like, oh, I'm so glad you played that Blood Moon. I didn't have enough removal spells for all of your creature lands. Thank you. And I've had, I think probably out of like, if I just had to like throw a number out there, 5 of the 7 times or something I've had Blood Moon cast against me out of Affinity, it's been good for me. So I feel like it's probably good enough to keep in. The thing is, I just don't have enough things to take out. Like, I'd like to ditch this, but what am I going to bring in? I think it's probably better as Remand than Remand because it actually functions as a removal spell against their creature lands, whereas Remand's just going to be like some awful cantrip against something, and if you're only going to draw 1, then you might not even have it early, and it's just going to be terrible late game. Dispel, I'm not going to play around, like, I'm not going to use this for Galvanic Blast. It's not the fight I'm fighting. Disdainful Stroke is worse than Remand. So it's the Blood Moon. I just don't have anything else. But we should have a great Affinity matchup. I mean, we have removal. We have the right counter spells. We have even better counter spells. Supreme Will is like, meh, it's not exactly what we want, but, you still want to counter things like Edge Champion. We have some sweepers. We have a bunch of value stuff. Electrolyze is great. And then we have our combo, which, unless they have double Galvanic Blast, they just kind of can't deal with it. And the idea is that it'll buy us enough time that there's no point for them to attack us because our life total can't change. And it just buys us enough time to like find By Force or Braids and just ways to kill any problematic permanents they have and start hitting them for 8. All right, let's jump into game 2. Okay, so if I've gone back and fixed all this correctly, You just watched me replay the first game, and now you're catching up on my live recording of the second game, in which what you didn't see is I unbound the key for number 6 to pass the turn and just pass it. And the reason is I hit it completely by accident, because my fingers were up there on my turn 1, and I just didn't do anything. I just passed the turn. So so now against Affinity, we're like basically on the draw for no real reason, and we didn't even play a land. So maybe I can, like, you know, like, play mistakes I don't mind, like, because they happen. Just like MTGO mistakes kind of drive me nuts, because they're just things that will never happen in real life. They'll never happen in real Magic. It's just like my fingers were up there, my thumb twitched, or I thought I was hitting like number 1, my hand was in the wrong place, and, like, you know, keyboard mistakes are like, ugh. All right, that's enough about that. Let's just win this match. Let's win this. Yeah, let's win the match. Let's win this game. All right, so opponent is taking their turn. Probably like, why didn't the guy do anything? Like, I'm curious too. Why we didn't do anything? You are not alone. All right, I just tried to hit 6, but I unmapped that key. So these Supreme Wheels are a little questionable in this matchup, but so this could be a Etch Champion, probably like be the most annoying thing, because we just can't really deal with that. So we can abrade that. I don't really want to do anything about this. I'm going to opt. I'm going to get an island because we did leave the Blood Moon in our deck. His 1-man land. I'm going to keep it. I have 2 removal spells and a counter spell. So then if I'm going to abrade, I'll need to shock. I don't have a counter spell. I'm going to shock and then just wait. I'm not going to play around counter magic. So I'm going to kind of wait and like see what he does with regards to his choices. Yeah, so like if he equips, he's probably going to equip this Ornithopter. Surprised that he equipped that, because now he's like concentrated all of his power into one threat. We're going to destroy this. That is a good card. I guess these stay artifact lands. They just become artifact land mountains. It's not a basic. Does it? I'm not actually sure how that works. So it's an artifact mountain. That's my guess. So I could Blood Moon now. What I actually think I'm going to do, though, is going to need double red here. I'm going to cast this. Hopefully I can get away with just bolting something this turn. Because depending on what he plays, yeah, I'm fine with the second plating, actually. So let's bolt this. And 3 cards in hand. Maybe I don't want to play this Blood Moon yet. Actually going to play that, get another red source in play for that anger. Actually now I do think I'm going to Blood Moon. because I can insulate myself against something really scary like an etched champion. And actually, maybe I don't. Actually, no, I don't really see. Well, hold on. I don't really have a good removal spell yet. So if he just decides to equip this, I kind of like it's a little awkward. Yeah, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this opportunity to resolve this Blood Moon. And then I can like, there's probably, in this position, especially with this anger, there's probably a bit of things I can just kind of ignore. That not being one of them. Because he does have quite a bit of artifacts. I don't have a good way to counter it, to deal with it. And now he doesn't have the mana to untap in like Etch Champion. So now we can then... Oh, I keep trying to hit 6. See, that's also interesting. Maybe that's just good enough. Madcap Experiment. Put a giant dude into play. Okay. I guess if his two spells are Galvanic Blast, then whatever. I have an 8/8 dude. Guess he gets to take my anger. So Memnite, it seems like enough to say. I guess some Memnite could actually probably, yeah, artifacts. So it'd be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So Memnite could block it. But if he left me with the anger, then I would just anger. Okay, so game 3. Not going to change anything. Okay, so game 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. We basically have 5 lands in our hand. Meaning, like, this is not doing anything. And if we draw the other one, then our Madcap is completely awful. So if we mulligan into a 6, we basically get a chance. I think this is a definite mulligan. Like, we have 2 nice pieces of interaction, but... Yeah, so I think that this is better. We have 2 nice pieces of interaction. I guess it's actually kind of the same, but it's better to not have that. We're going to keep that bolt on top, obviously. It's better to not have the... Platinum Imperium thing in our hand. Alright, slow start from them, which is obviously great for us. Now, especially when I'm on the draw, even though it's against our affinity and our life total is relevant, I'm all about, okay, don't Etch Champion me. It's like, I don't have a Ceremonious Rejection. It's the one thing I don't want to see. I can deal with the Thoughtseize. You can take my Anger of the Gods, that's fine. Probably take the anger. That's my guess. I'm still gonna get a Steam Vents. There is another one in the deck, and we have a ton of islands, so we're likely to draw into a third just natural island. So if he takes this, then I'm just going to fetch it to a Steam Vents and play Sulphur Falls. All right, he took the bold. That's interesting. Sort of tempted to just like snap bolt this. Yeah, I'm going to. Because like the only threat that he has right now, it buys us a lot of time because now he... Oh, that's not what I want to see. I don't even want to show him that I drew it. So now, like, if he has a manland, if he plays a manland, that's one thing, but it gives us another draw step. Because, like, we're not going to die to anything at the moment. If he plays an Etch Champion, that's kind of annoying. I would have loved to draw, like, well, I guess we don't have a counter spell, but a Ceremonious Rejection, obviously. Yeah, we do have those. That would have been great. So this is like problematic. We need to find a way to deal with this immediately. That's kind of a way. So I think at this point we are... Oh, it's going to be a lot of damage. Interesting. Did he not reveal an artifact? Alright, so we're going to go to 10. I mean, to 7. We're taking 10. Actually, we're going to go to 6 because I'm going to fetch. And then let's see if this sideboard plan was good enough. So he can block, obviously. All right. It's getting us there so far. Start with the Serum Visions. That's super interesting. Can we... We can. Alright, this is going on the bottom. Going on top. I think I'm going to snap Madcap and just put 2 platinums in play. Then we'll probably eventually find a way to deal with everything. And it's really unlikely he's going to kill both of them. I guess there's no reason to... I guess Infect is what we have to worry about. That is our... that is our... Like... Our something. I mean, he should probably just be attacking us down anyway. Oh, wait, no, he can't. I'm sorry. It's not like Platinum Angel. Our life total just doesn't change. Alright, so let's... Oh, so I can't even sack this, though. I have to tell... Oh, okay. See, learning how cards work. So I can't pay 1 life, but I need to pay 1 life so that I can snap Madcap. Now do I snap Serum Visions to try to like find a way to kill this? Because if I kill this, then this is like totally online to kill him. I'm just gonna pass again. What are the chances he's holding on to a Galvanic Blast? It's probably not 0. Wow. Cast for... That's probably the game. Destroy this. 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 X is 4. Pay 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And attack. Still want to draw a land because my plan is still to get 2 of these things in play. All right, let me think here. So attack for 8. This is a 2/2. I'm just thinking, like, what if he goes all in on this Etched Champion but keeps the 2 Darksteel Citadels? It gets, You know what we could do? We could just attack, because I have a feeling it's really close. Like, he has to kill it, and then we just... We could also just Anger of the Gods. We also have Snap by Force. But he's just going to, like, sack everything to something. So if he goes... okay, so let's see. So Ravager's +1/+1. This is +2, +3. So you can make this a 5/5. And then if he... I think I could just attack with this thing. Because like, he can't make anything big enough to kill it. And then if he does somehow kill it, I just snap Madcap again. I think attacking with this thing is fine to then kind of see how he reacts to that. We can make another one. We can buy Force. If he doesn't block, then we just snap Bolt. I kind of just can't help myself, and I want to make another one. I think that's what I'm going to do. I want to make another 8/8. It's pretty neat. It's 18 points of power. It's fine. And you can't win the game unless you kill 2 8/8s. It's fine. No big deal. So I still don't think... Well, it doesn't really matter. I just bash with both. I just bash with everything. Ah, so you can't even like choose to put these into play. Interesting. What a silly game. What a silly but awesome game. Okay, so I guess that's something I didn't say in the deck tech. I think these Platinum Empyreans are better against Affinity than Through the Breach. Take a quick look at the decks. I don't think I'd change anything. One thing I didn't say is I've seen some people advocate only running 3 Emrakul's. And I sent somebody a message on Reddit who I think is somewhat of an expert with this deck. I haven't heard back from him yet. I asked him specifically about that, but my experience with it is, yes, they're awkward to draw. Maybe that makes another case for having the One of Izzet charm. But I think you just want to maximize your combo pieces. That's kind of what the deck does. I ran a list that ran 3, and I'm not saying that, you know, I've played enough to really know, and I might be being results oriented. But I did see times in which I had it Through the Breach, and I was hoping to draw an Emrakul. And so it's theoretically one of those draws could have been something else. So, okay, now I'm going to go and re-record the first game and fix the mess up that I did. Everybody, thank you for watching. As usual, I'm going to put some links up in the corners of the screen for you to check out. I would greatly appreciate it if you did. And just as a quick reminder, if you're still watching, don't forget to think about some cards for the Jeskai Discovery deck. It's just, again, I'm looking for cards that people have said are good in Jeskai but have been discarded for either discarded or just not played often for one reason or another. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you guys Wednesday. Bye for now.